Polyzac here and welcome to a 5-minute review of World of Final Fantasy. The World of Final Fantasy is a cute and well put together introduction to the Final Fantasy series. Made by Square Enix. They've done a fantastic job, I really enjoyed it. Final Fantasy characters in their cute forms adds a little bit of a spin on the Final Fantasy games and is targeted at a lot younger audience. The story of Final Fantasy is about a brother and sister who have lost their memories. I won't go into spoilers, but I felt like the story was dragged on a bit too long. The fact that the gameplay is heavily RNG and also depending on how skilled and how well leveled your Mirages are, it just added to the length of the story. Side quests added no real depth. The only real depth is from the Girl with No Name's intervention quests. And that was the only depth other than the linear storyline that you follow. I was also confused with the switch between 3D and also the animated sort of cartoony look. It just didn't make sense. The main characters, Lan and Rain, were quirky and had their own characteristics, but the poor writing left the voice actors really with nothing really to work with. But credit to the voice actors, they did well with what they had. Lan was left with the goofy and sort of dopey and dumb sort of lines and portrayed that well. And Rain was left there to pick up the pieces with her logical thinking when they got stuck in some situations. Tama, the Mirage that follows them around, just adds another dynamic to the team, as well as the cast being supported by the iconic Final Fantasy characters of Cloud, Tifa, and characters like that we know and love. But these iconic Final Fantasy characters didn't really have a major role in the story itself. They just popped up here and there, but it didn't really add too much. The gameplay is a Pokemon-esque sort of layout. Instead of the 6 Pokemon that you would usually have, the Mirages, which are the Pokemon, stack up on top of Lan and also Rain. And these add a bit of a different dynamic to the gameplay when it comes to the battle system. These Mirages come in small, medium and large, as well as Mega Mirages that are extra large that can be summoned throughout and also hidden throughout the world. Different Mirages have different sort of types, so you've got the water, you've got the thunder, you've got the generic sort of types, as well as having super effective or strong effective and also weak as well. It's just a normal sort of Pokemon-esque game. Mirage boards is where you add Mirage's stats, increase them, and also you can evolve them, which is Transfiguration. Transfiguration is where you can go between small and larger Mirages. Mirage boards is where you make your Mirages stronger, and Transfiguration where you can go between smaller and larger Mirages, just in case you get stuck on that boss that you just can't beat. The battle system is laid out within a basic that most beginner players of the Final Fantasy games would be set at and probably play most of their games throughout. But you can also swap to the classic iconic Final Fantasy battle system, which is a good sense of nostalgia, and that's where the real in-depth sort of use of the battle system is applied. Fast-forwarding battles can make for slick and quick battles between those pesky Mirages that keep popping up as you're walking around. Overall, I was satisfied with my money's worth. I got 25 hours out of it. The story was longer than I thought it was going to be. Characters were goofy and appealing to the younger audience. Gameplay was Pokemon-esque, and there's nothing wrong with sort of taking a leap out of Pokemon's books. Longevity is there for those platinum hunters, but if you're engaged in the story, you probably wouldn't want to come back to another 25 hours of gameplay. To me, World of Final Fantasy story is a solid 7. The characters are a solid 7 if you're younger. If you're older, I'd probably say it's probably around a 6. Gameplay I have as a 7. It just gets a bit stale as it keeps going on because you're just fast forwarding most of the battles. On the sequel scale, I'm going to give it a 3.5. I think there's a high possibility that there could be a sequel to it. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe for more, and have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and have a great day.